Hey, it's me, and I want to talk about the black vote, okay? Because South Carolina is coming up, and it's the first chance, the first real chance, and noticeable chance for blacks to come out and say we like Trump. And I'm not only talking about Republicans or conservatives that are black that like Trump. I'm talking about even Democrats that are black and they're fed up with Democrats doing nothing. And in fact, politicians doing nothing. So they want to vote for an outsider. And as you know, in South Carolina, you can be a Democrat and go vote Republican. So it'll be noticeable because Hillary, for example, in South Carolina really relies on South Carolina blacks to vote for her. But that's another story for another day. What is coming up is the Republican South Carolina primary. And the black vote will in fact help Donald Trump to win. Because I believe that the blacks are going to come out and really show that, hey, we like Trump. And it's not just because he's Trump, but it's also because he's an outsider. Now, if I know anything about the blacks, I do know that they have a certain way of thinking. Of course, everybody has their independent thought process. But in general, a cultural thing is that they respect Donald Trump. Not only because he's a cultural icon, he's also an icon for what it means to be rich and a self-made millionaire and billionaire after that. That is something that a lot of people respect, especially on the East Coast. Now, there's another thing about Trump is that, over his life, even on The Apprentice or in business, there's no racism. And actually blacks know that he's not a racist. And he's being endorsed by people like Mike Tyson and many other black people. So it's not about that, it's just a talking point that liberals always throw out about a Republican. And it's kind of sad because it demeans the use of the word. Because it's like the boy that cried wolf. One day you start crying wolf and nobody cares, nobody pays attention. And so people have to be more careful before you start calling people racist. But okay, the blacks also feel that Trump is a man of the streets in New York. Now, okay, nice streets like Park Avenue and Fifth Avenue, but still, it's the streets, it's not Congress. And that is something that people feel. A lot of people that are interested in becoming better off, even if it's from poverty one step up, or from the middle class going to upper class. You have to look at Donald Trump as a role model. And trust me, a lot of black people see him as a role model. They rap about him, they talk about him, they know him, they trust him. Now, this is all without the media and a Democrat smear machine. When it comes to the blacks, they're not all led by Al Sharpton, who, by the way, I think is going to end up endorsing Donald Trump. Who knows? It's possible, out of self-interest, and also related to New York. But okay, forget about Al Sharpton. He doesn't represent most blacks, but it's true that blacks as a whole don't have like a national spokesman. The only de facto spokesman is Al Sharpton. And it's very sad. There should be more people stepping up and have that kind of national presence that you can talk for a lot of blacks. Right now it's Al Sharpton and a few celebrities. But these celebrities are bought by the Democrat Party. Al Sharpton also, of course, is in with Obama, and, that's not a person that you can easily trust. But that's okay. You cannot expect a lot from Democrats. And there is no real Republican black leader. At least not on a national level. But Trump is somebody that is such an icon that It's beyond race. You know, the cultural identity of this guy in the United States, the brand, is more important than race. Because in the end, it's all about, is it a businessman who is really excellent? And, they look at his crib and they see that he has a lot of gold-plated stuff, and people respect that. So somebody who can do that for himself and who gets all these hot wives and takes care of his family, if he can do that, he can do it for us. That is what they will be thinking. Now, people like Jeb Bush, the Bushes don't care about black people. Everybody knows that. And as of the other establishment people, including Ted Cruz, because he's from Congress, it's more of the same. It's like a game. Democrats in Congress and Republicans in Congress, they do nothing for black people. It's so obvious they do nothing for black people. But somebody like Donald Trump, he has a big heart. And I really say that in a way that I respect it. Because, if you're a mega billionaire, you don't have to care about people, but he does. And I think it's that common touch he has. I mean, the guy is really, he goes out and walks on Fifth Avenue and all the people smiling and shouting something, or truck drivers, taxi drivers, people nearby taking out the garbage or whatnot. They love the guy. He's a billionaire, but he's also a regular American. A regular American who's very rich. But he's not rich because he cheated. He's not rich because he's being a politician, doing favors. No, he's rich because he did it. A lot of people respect that. So I believe that South Carolina will really be the first chance for blacks to say, forget what they're saying in the media about us, or what Al Sharpton is saying, or what Hillary Clinton is saying. They're going to talk with their vote. And people are going to talk about this for a long time. Hey, look at how many blacks voted for Donald Trump. And they're all going to have spastic attacks, and they're going to melt down, and a lot of people are going to really scratch their heads. I mean, Democrats can't keep on calling any blacks that vote for a Republican Uncle Toms. I mean, what? Now they're going to start calling thousands and thousands and thousands of people Uncle Toms? That is also something that is so old. And I think it's not going to work anymore.